side close, races up to join the leaders too. Last gal backs off to the fourth near the status. We will get 5 points for the first time. West down to center base. May has no time to be set. However, backs off.
Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Go, 7. Go, 7. Go, 7. Go, 7.
So the mark turns are. Delight. So by Flurry Racing Stables, trained by Brad Cox, with winning jockey Florent Geroux. Winning with Brent Concepts by Acton Bush. The time is 153.31 seconds, not yet official.
It's a huge weight off shoulders. It hadn't been a very good 2019 overall for me and my operation. What's up, Joe Don? So to get him back in the winner's circle, especially in this caliber of race, it feels really, really good, and just a big weight off shoulder.
How do you feel about him going into this race?
Hey, Brad said he had been working phenomenal, so I'm glad he just ran his race, and we got there. So we'll go to New Orleans, see what he can give us there.
He was almost ready to come back earlier this spring, and he got a little bit sick on us. So Brad and his team, like to back off, and we started him a little bit later than what we wanted. And as we said, we were a little bit behind the 8 ball, from that point. And even some races where that was a little bit questionable, it's like he's still not the same as last year, and he doesn't owe us anything, he's won so many races and so many good ones. But no, today was a good test to see where we are, because he loved Churchill, and we know he likes that turf course. So today was a good test to see where we stand and if he still has it. And he shows us today he still has it.
Did he feel like the old Mr.
Yeah, no, he feels great. Yeah, he's never gonna win by like 5, 6, but he's always knows how to win. He likes to put his head, right at the right time. When you ask him, he gives you everything he has.
It's got to be good back winning a stakes after. He missed that time, including the Breeders' Cup, which had to be
it was a
more
tough
painful
time.
than maybe the fracture itself.
No, exactly. I was a little bit, stiff in pain. But like you said, when you see all the horses, you're supposed to ride winning. It's even tougher. So that's why, I took my family and we went away a little bit, for a week, in the Bahamas and cruise and stuff. And it was a good time, to get away a little bit from my mind and rest my body also. But no, I couldn't ask for a better return. I win already, 6 races, which is pretty unbelievable, with the type of crony we have here at Churchill and the number of very good races we have. So I'm very grateful, and obviously, to Brad, he put me on very good horses, and his stable is on fire right now, so it doesn't hurt to ride for a guy like this.
I mean, he overcome a lot last winter. He got sick. He actually had pneumonia last winter, and we had to turn him out. And, sometimes when horses get that, they just never recover. And, I told Staton when we sent him, we actually sent him up to Windstar Farm from the fairgrounds. And, I told him going in, I said, sometimes horses don't recover from this. And it could be done permanently, but he actually recovered pretty quick once we got him up to Windstar. We did some hyperbaric chamber treatment with him, and he responded well. His first race off the layoff was a big ass going 1 1/8 here. It's his only defeat here. He loves his turf course. I think he's 4 for 5 now on this turf course, and that one defeat coming that allowance race off the layoff. So it meant a lot to get him back because he's been a win machine for us the last 2 years, and for him to, I did 2 interviews earlier today, and both interviews, they'd asked, if I thought he'd lost a step, and I really didn't, because his works have been really, really good in the morning on the dirt, and his work Sunday 6 days ago was fantastic, and I thought, we're gonna get this horse's A game, and I honestly thought today was about as deep a field as he's run against in his career. As far as getting horses he beat, he's running it in like the Shadow of a Mile and stuff, but he didn't beat those horses. But for him to beat this solid group, I thought there's a very solid, deep group of horses that he beat today, and just shows that he's, hopefully back in good form and can carry that over to the fairgrounds this winter.
You said it being a win machine, so there's always these expectations, and sometimes I think people, especially if you're not in the barn, have to realize, when you go through something like pneumonia.
Yeah, like I said, I've had horses that never recover from it. We never run them again. They're just not there, not responding the way they need to, and they're just not it just takes something out of them. So it's just part of it. And he did overcome it. And I think credit to Staton and Windstar. Destin Heath over at Winstar did a fantastic job with him, getting him back, and Staton for being patient with him and giving him the time he needed. So, I mean, I think he's 13 for 26 now. It's a pretty amazing race record.
And that's a good, amazing price on him, actually,
Yeah,
for the defending.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly thought the horse that was favored, I mean, he was, he beat some really good horses. And, second to Catholic Boy in Pimlico. He's a very, very nice horse, Brian Lynch's. And for us to come out on top of him just says, puts a feather in Mr. Misunderstood's cap, because that's a very nice horse.